Hello, people.
Welcome to our review of The Breakfast Club at the Breakfast Club Diner in Oceanside. What is this diner?
The Breakfast Club Diner is an 80s themed cafe that is related to 80s film, 80s video games, and 80s TV. So because we're at the Breakfast Club Diner, we're going to be reviewing The Breakfast Club. Connor, what is The Breakfast Club about?
The Breakfast Club is about three kids. Five. I even said five. 5 kids who get Saturday school, and none of them are friends, and then they slowly become more friends and talk about their feelings. What do you think about this movie?
My greatest film of all time. I unabashedly loved this movie. This is the greatest film ever made. It's the most entertaining film ever made. And if you don't have that opinion, you must at least respect this film, because if you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. This film is so fantastically well done. First off, the director, John Hughes, must have thrown himself so deeply into this film, because not only is it done with child actors, which most people contend is nearly impossible, but it also takes place in one room. It's shot entirely in order, and a lot of it is improv. That much work went into the film, because practically all of it was on the top of our head, and that makes sense because the film feels so natural. They feel like human characters. Sure, they start out as their cliches, but the entire movie is about breaking their cliches. That's what I love most about this movie. It is about breaking cliches, which, I mean, you can at least relate to at least one of these cliches. Me and him obviously both relate to the brain character, but and then they're supposedly like cliches. Everyone says, oh, these are people will often contend that this movie is cliche, but whoever those people are out there, Dana, are insane, because this is not about cliches. This is about breaking the cliches, and that is what I mostly love about this film.
When people say 80s movies are cliche, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Breakfast Club, I say, no. First of all, it's about breaking cliches. Second of all, it created the cliche.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and something else that I absolutely love about this movie is the one scene where they're sitting all in a circle explaining what they did to get in there. Not only is it entirely improv, just think, not only does that film have expert dialogue, but it's entirely improv for teenagers, which is absolutely insane. I can't even comprehend how they did that, but that scene is so beautifully done. Yeah. The directing is there, the writing, even though there's no writing, just the way that the scene is set up, the costume design there, the set design, everything in that scene is perfect, just like the entire movie. Let me say, the set design for the school is amazing. It's not some sort of perfect ethereal school like most films like to contend schools look like, and it's not the cliche school either. It actually looks like a normal school, which I loved about it.
The acting, as everyone in the movie is amazing at what they did.
I think it's the greatest ensemble of all time. Judd Nelson. Oh my God.
I mean, Good Will Hunting's the best ensemble of all time.
You do?
But this is second.
See, just Judd Nelson, what he did in that film, it wasn't too far away from what he normally does, but still, his role was fantastic. You want to hate his character, but you're also laughing at his character. And he's not a one-sided character, because he sacrifices himself for the group, but he's also an a-hole. It is so well done. I absolutely love Judd Nelson's character. Molly Ringwald also does great, because she starts off as a whiny princess, even from the beginning scene. Just beautiful. Brian, the kid,
I love Brian's character.
Yes.
Because he's super stressed, and the only reason why he is super smart and he wants to be a brain is because his parents are forcing him to.
Yeah.
Which I think is a brilliant subplot, by the way.
Yeah.
And him doing it, he was the best character in my opinion. He was the best actor. Yes.
Yeah. See, I also just loved his role, because he was socially awkward, but it wasn't like he was so socially awkward that was his personality. Yeah. He had a different personality. Ali Sheedy.
Yeah.
She was so different from her role in War Games, and so different from her normal roles, and she was fantastic. And Emilio Estevez was also fantastic in the film, because the classic jock just would have been like the classic jock, but they put an emotional backstory behind him. him, that his parents are mean and abusive and they hate him. And what I also love about this film is everyone hates their home life. And
Yeah.
at first I sort of thought, really, all characters have, the hate the things. Then I realized practically every kid dislikes their home life. That's just a fact about kids. No person is ever really happy with and satisfied with the life that they're living in, because they always think of ways that they can improve it. And that's what I really loved about it. Molly Ringwald's character, I doubt that her parents are ready to break and divorce. I bet that that's just the way that she sees it, because she dislikes her home life. That was brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. The writing in this film,
Yes, it's brilliant.
it's phenomenal, because it will make you cry. It will make you be on the edge of your seat. It'll make you laugh, because there's many times in the movie when Judd Nelson's character is just talking that I'm laughing, and I realize, why am I laughing? He's being cruel. But that's how smart the dialogue is. John Hughes wrote the script in 2 days. 2 days. How did he do that? How? This is just such a brilliant film. Let me also say, the beginning is the best beginning for a film of all time. Easily. Because not only does it foreshadow the entire film, but at the same time it expresses each characters just by one shot.
Yes.
And then rewatching it after you finish the movie, you realize, that's brilliant. That is amazing.
Wait,
It's just, it gets better every time that you see it.
I also have to bring up "Don't You" song.
Oh
You
yeah,
Forget About
Don't
Me.
You Forget About Me.
Amazing song.
Amazing song, and I love the way how it summed up the entire film. None of the 5 characters want to forget each other, even though they realize that when school starts on Monday, that they probably aren't going to be friends. And what I love about this film is that it's a college film and it's a coming of age film, but adults can relate to it, and elderly people can relate to it, and young children can relate to it. Everyone can relate to this movie, but especially high school kids and middle school kids, because they'll realize, oh, they suffered through stuff like that before. It's so brilliantly made. It's an amazing film. And let me also say, I feel like everything in this film is perfect. The directing, the writing, the acting, the set design, the costume design, the cinematography. Let me also say, the cinematography is amazing. It's not some sort of wide-scoping, amazing-looking cinematography. It's basic cinematography, but the shots are set up in perfect ways to make you almost feel claustrophobic that you're stuck in the room, but also somehow expresses the characters in the cinematography. It's amazing.
You don't need beautiful cinematography for a movie that's that's in a high school.
Yeah.
And I love how simple it was.
Yeah.
That's what was great about it.
Yeah.
Cinematography. Yeah.
I agree. And I also love the music, how the music is used in the film.
Yeah.
Because for the most of the part, there's no music in the movie, which works to the film's advantage. But when they have music, it works so brilliantly.
Yeah.
Like when they're building up on something, when the principal, first off, amazing scene, when the principal is saying 2 months that you're stuck in here to Judd Nelson's character, John Bender, it's so masterfully done. The music, how it slowly is building up to the entire scene until the end when John Bender yells F you to the principal. Let me also say, the principal you think could be a one-dimensional character, but he has multiple dimensions. They have him talking to the janitor about how he's scared about the future generation of children, and about how he's scared that that's what he's going to wake up with, and he has to realize in that scene that he's the one changing, not the children, and he's becoming a more curmudgeon old man. And I love that part of the movie, and I also love how he has a personal vendetta against John Bender, and that really affects his life. And when John Bender yells F you, he just stops for a moment and he thinks for a second before continuing on. That was absolutely brilliant. Everything about this film is perfect. Not only does every scene work so perfectly, the first scene where they're first just starting in the Saturday school, I thought that scene was amazing because it was kind of awkward because there was barely any talking in it.
Yeah.
But it was also done brilliantly, and I love the quote in the film, and it's completely resemblant of the film, which is 5 people were stuck in a room and had nothing in common but each other. Because that's so true to the film. These people have nothing in common, but they find it within themselves to break their cliches with themselves and just become new characters overall. And you think, oh, how can people change so much in 9 hours? They illustrate it
6
beautifully.
hours.
It was 7 hours.
Oh.
9 to 4. Yes. No, sorry, 7 to 4. It was, I believe. I don't know. 7 to 4. I watched it this morning. Yeah, it was 7 to 4. And again, this film film is amazing. If you have not seen it, what is wrong with you? Go out, rent this film on iTunes, rent this film at your local DVD store, buy the DVD, buy the Blu-ray on Amazon. I don't care. See this movie. It is brilliantly done, considering that it is all done in one room. This is the greatest film that I've ever seen, and I would be talking a lot louder with excitement if it wasn't because I'm in a diner. But definitely see this movie. If I had a higher score, I would give it to the Breakfast Club, but I don't. So that is why I give the Breakfast Club a 10 out of 10 easily. Greatest film ever made.
I don't think it's the greatest film ever made, but it is in my top 10. It's wonderfully done. I give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, alright. So definitely see the Breakfast Club. Now, the owner of the Breakfast Club Diner, whose name is Perry, sorry, never mind, that's the 80s review. So yes, that concludes our review of the Breakfast Club. In case you haven't seen it, again, see it immediately. It's my best film of all time. One of the only films that I give a 10 out of 10. So, I am Robert Burke.
And I'm Connor Hill.
And this has been the Clever Critics. Goodbye.